All right, welcome everyone. It is, oh my gosh, already we're coming up to the end of October, October 22nd already. This call is being recorded today under special circumstances. I want to have that on the recording so you all do not assume that this weekly call will be recorded moving forward. And I got to be really honest with you, the reason I don't record it is because when I start doing a recording, you guys look at it as like, okay, this is my pass, but there's no sense in recording a check-in call if no one's checking in. So it would just be me talking, and that would get pretty boring. But I did want to record this call. Christina McIntosh is not feeling well, and we do have a lot of information that needs to be covered today, and so that we make sure that everyone's on the same page. So welcome, welcome. First of all, I want to say thank you to Gail Jacobus, who started out our 3-minute video series today. Well, actually, she recorded over the weekend about having a consistent show schedule. It was perfect, Gail. Thank you so much. It was under 3 minutes. She covered everything. She used, the catalog, and just talking about all that Pampered Chef offers us is in the way of marketing tools, and I think it was the perfect way to kick it off. So remember, it is up to each of you as leaders and directors is to post that to your personal page or get the information to your teams, however you do that. So go ahead and make sure that you do that. This week, remember, we have an opportunity event. The opportunity event is the 24th, and it is Gail Jacobus and Nikki Bryant as our facilitators. So Gail, you will, I'll put together a group message so you can decide who's going to do the welcome and who's going to do the wrap up and call to action at the end of the call. So team, please, encourage your team members to get on the call and inviting people so that we can wrap up October strong with our recruiting. I'm going to say this out loud so you can hold me accountable to it. I really want to be more diligent in making sure that you're aware of the recruiting number that we're looking for, as a team. So you'll be seeing that recruiting number for for November. So you will be seeing that number posted. I loved Christina's post that she did. I thought that was just ingenious about showing, as you go green. And it's really funny. I assume everyone knows what it means to go green as a director team. And I think it was one of our new directors asked that question on our organizational director page. So if leaders don't understand it, it's obvious that team members don't understand it. So one of the things that executive conference was brought to the forefront was about making your team aware of the goals that you're setting, and what happens. And that was a prime example when we put it on our future exec page when we were going for national numbers and we needed, Linda Chiraboga and Tracy Black to promote. I think that was helpful for all of you to see, okay, here's where they're at, here's where we're at, and, this is what we need to do, as a team going forward. So you will be seeing that. And again, to bring it back around, it's that opportunity event that is key. So I asked Katie Mass. Katie attended an awesome retreat. You saw some of the things that she posted and shared, but I thought it would be great if Katie kind of shared with us her key takeaways that she's going to implement from that retreat, and kind of go from there. So Katie, go ahead, take it away.
Thank you so much, Donna. I appreciate all that you do for us. And like I shared the other day, I was thrilled to be at this retreat. Furl Yan spoke again, and she changed the way I do cooking shows last year. And I can't thank her enough for just the little things, the little tips she gave, it has changed my shows. I always did interactive station style shows. For years I've done that, and so she did more of the cooking and demo, and I didn't think I would ever do that, but she helped me believe that I could do that again, and I've gotten a lot of feedback from it. So it's crazy how some things work and then you change it up a little bit, and she actually shared about that, branding yourself. And that was another concept that I really never thought of before. It's okay to do things one way for a while and then change up a little bit and do something else again. But one thing she shared is she never puts her apron on, never puts her pin on until she is ready to start the party. She actually greets every customer at the door, gets to know them, gets to interact with them, and many people don't even know that she is the consultant until she stands up there and starts actually doing the demo. And so that was kind of different. And so she also said to remember at least 4 names of people that you contact with so you can interact with them through the cooking demo, because it's important that people hear their name because they love that. And I'm a bad person to remember people's names, honestly. So, and she also went over experiences to know how to share tips on different products, different ways that you can share tips about, like water, how to cut watermelon, or how to pick a watermelon, how to pick an avocado, how to pick pineapple or garlic. She had some tips that last year I learned and I shared at my parties. And this year she shared some more. One of them was a tomato sauce is something, if it burns, you can actually throw in some lemon and it actually takes out the burnt flavor. If something is salty, you can throw in a potato and it's going to soak up that salty flavor. She was a professional chef, and so I think all of her tips she shared last year was huge for me. And I've heard people tell me at my shows the last several months that, oh my goodness, I thought I knew how to cook until I came to the party. And now I feel like all the tips I've learned, I feel like I didn't know how to cook. So those were just a few things that I've been trying to implement this last year, was sharing more tips like that. And then Laura Polita shared, and oh my gosh, we all love Laura. Her big thing was, of course, the out and about contacts. And I'm bad with that. I don't know if I ever got a out and about contact person that actually booked the show. But she shared to have an elevator speech, what she calls her elevator speech, in case you run into somebody. She scouts out everybody's shopping carts. People were accusing her of they're going to probably end seeing her in jail because she's always scouting out people and spying on people. And she was hilarious with not ever thinking about that she was spying on people. But she said she honestly stalks people's carts, and so she knows how to approach them. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But anyway, she also shared a tip that I never thought of for cooking shows. She said cleanliness is huge, which I always try to keep everything clean. But she shared she never allows any of her guests to touch the food. She wants everyone to know that everything is clean. You never know who's in that crowd that might have, the issue with cleanliness. They might not want to eat anything that someone touched. So you always want to make sure that whatever you do, that everything is clean. Have your guests see you washing your hands, wiping your hands with a paper towel. If you do pass things around in the crowd, never ever use those to cook with unless you wash them. If you have someone come up and help you at the demo table, never give them anything to cut or dice. Always get them just to do things to stir, which I have tried to do that, but I never really was aware of things that they actually touched. What else was it? I think that's about it. Oh, the last thing that Laura said, which was pretty cool, she obviously is the queen of the quick cooker. And she shared that we are not the first on the market for pressure cooking, but we are here to perfect it. And I thought that was kind of cool. And I actually shared that at my party this last weekend. And I had one girl that has a Instant Pot. She said she never used it and she really didn't know how to use it. And I actually had her come up and stir my banana foster in the quick cooker, and she was quite excited at how it turned out. So those were just a few tips that I took away from it, and I hope that helped you guys. And I did post some of those notes, hoping that that might help you as well.
Great. Thanks, Katie. Appreciate that. Great. Anyone have any questions for Katie?
I do. Sorry, I came in a few minutes late.
That's good.
Katie, who was the gal that you said that was providing all the tips for you, and are these in your notes that you just referenced?
It was Ferrero Yan.
Okay. And were they in your notes that you put on our page? I
Yes,
haven't had a chance to look. Okay.
there was a section that was from Ferrero, and then there was also other people that spoke that there's those notes as well.
Did you reference where she picked up all of these tips?
I did not. I think a lot of it came from her cooking experience over the years because
Okay.
she is a professional chef.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she just shares all of her tips that she's learned.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, Gail, she is literally worked in the industry and went to culinary school. Gail, you were in a conference, but she was on stage. Frail was on stage at conference also. So if you also want some great tips, is go back and watch some of that. So great. Thank you so much, Katie. So I had asked Katie to kind of get us started with the ideas on her retreat, because we have 2 retreats coming up and two options for you. We talked about this on the last call where it was kind of all over what the possibilities were, but the dates have been secured. So here are where your 2 options are for next year. There's the option of 2 retreats, one being in Tampa. It's actually, I keep saying Tampa, it's not in Tampa, it's in St. Augustine, okay? So it's in St. Augustine, Florida, and it is February 8th through the 10th, okay? So I know for some of you, that is, drivable to go there. The retreat will be open to team leaders also. So that really is a great tool for you to use to get people to work towards promotion, to be able to attend the one in St. Augustine. I keep saying it's the Tampa retreat because it's incorporating the Tampa group. In attendance, Mary Haynes. We will be joining with Mary Haynes, and you guys have seen Mary. Mary's kind of the new, one of the new top execs that shares a lot of ideas. You'll see her on the Pampered Chef page. So we will be doing the retreat with her, and also the Gagne team. So that's the 8th through the 10th. Again, the registration will be up. It's $80, and then your housing. Okay, so just watch for details, on that. It starts on Friday night and then ends on Sunday. And the location the hotel that we're at does include breakfast, on that. So again, watch for the registration. The second option is in Tennessee, and it is March 1st through the 3rd, okay? Again, it's about the same cost, about $100 plus then in addition to our housing. If you're interested in the March one, I kind of need to know that sooner than later, because we'll be getting a house that we'll rent, and everyone will stay together, in that house. So obviously the reason I need to know is because I need to know how big of a house to get. That again is open to future team leaders. So please feel free, again, if you think that you have somebody that's working towards that and would want to participate, please let me know that. We will be meeting with the Ishii team as well as Nancy Jo Ryan. So that one will be a little bit larger in attendance. We'll probably have about 150 people at the Tennessee one, whereas in the St. Augustine one, probably you're looking more like around 75. So different, Marsha, what was the name of that what's the name of it again? I can't always forget.
Oh, Hidden Mountain. Is that where we had it last time?
Yes. So it will
Hidden Mountain.
It'll be a hidden mountain.
Okay.
So there's your two options. I know we kind of talked about, were we going to, do a retreat just for, our teacher exec group here, but, I kind of feel like I'm committed to going with these two opportunities right now. So I promise you that for next year, we will do one here in Georgia that allows you to do reverse visit, and so I'll have that date earlier than later for you for 2019. But that would be 2020. Oh my Lord, where is time going? So this is 2019 we're talking about, and in 2020 you'll come back to Georgia. So wow, that's crazy. All right, any questions about that? Both registrations will be posted this week. You do not have to put any deposit down at this point. I kind of just need to have numbers to know where you're going to be in. Obviously, don't know exactly for future, for the team leaders. I keep saying future directors. My gosh, I am living in the past. Team leaders. But, if you're kind of like, hey, I'd like to have, two, or I'd like to have this many, just let me know that. Okay, because it will be a great opportunity for everyone. Katie?
So Donna, are we going to get like a separate cabin for our team? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
So in Tennessee, it will be a separate cabin just for us. So it's kind of cool, that concept.
Yeah, that's nice.
Because we're kind of getting the best of what we did before, but getting the big training, that we don't have. So Tennessee, is a really super, kind of, like I said, balance, of it. Okay.
Yeah. That was my question, because I wanted to see who was going where, because obviously I can't come to both, but I would like to come at least to the one, and I wanted to see which one more people were going to. That was my question.
So what we'll do is we can, if somebody wants to start a post, hey, who's thinking of going where, go ahead and put it in the future exec page, and then we'll know that.
I can pick people up from the airport if you want to fly into Knoxville.
Okay.
So Knoxville will be the closest airport?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, was that all the questions on that?
What time does it start on the March 1st?
The March 1st, I believe, are starting in the evening on that, Linda.
And then ending on the 3rd at what time?
Yeah, at noon. So I would say, for you, Linda, you probably would want to do a later flight out.
Okay.
So for sure. Okay. And like Lorene and Christina, you guys obviously, may want to be in Florida because it's just closer for you.
I was just looking at that. I already have a party scheduled that weekend.
Oh. Well, looks like you got to come to Tennessee then.
That's why I was asking the airport and deciding, do I drive it? Well, because I don't mind a road trip.
Yeah, you're welcome to stop here, and then we can head on from there together. Whatever.
That might be dangerous.
So it may be, but it will be interesting. I promise I'll put gas in the car. So,
okay, good.
So yeah. Katie always talks about me. She says, my director doesn't even know to fill up the gas tank. So we're good. Okay, so that's a little bit about that. Watch for that. We had our second 6 weeks call yesterday. Thank you to Kim Manning. She did an awesome job. Was so proud of her. She was her PowerPoint was exceptional, all in pink in favor of our October Help with Cancer, but she did a great job. I think that, the Facebook, the private message group, I believe is working well. I think people are enjoying it. it's just as leaders, you know, if you're in a message group, it's kind of up to us to keep them going. We see that like Nicole Payne's very involved, Eileen is very involved, and so Tony Blackwell is super involved, but we still have some that are kind of just stalking. So I think that that's important as we get them. If you see one of your people not getting involved, you know, make sure you message them, say, hey, you know, Susie Q, you know, what do you think about, or what are you going to do? So the call to action from this call was obviously getting bookings on your calendar. And so the message I put out today was from the information that Kim shared, how many bookings are you going to add to your calendar? And Kim did verbally say that. And we hope that everyone listens to the call, but we know how that goes. So just get them involved with there. Okay. All right. So next, this is some training information. I'm going to do a screen share that we got at ExecSem, and there's pieces of it that we're able to use, but can you all see my screen? Okay. So
Yes.
this speaker was Becky Speed, and I loved, this would be something that you would give to your team members, and obviously, you know, she had it change for every month. Unfortunately, for 2019, she has a big project, so we would not be able to get this on a monthly basis. But I am sure we can kind of put our heads around getting this this concept and moving it forward. But you can see, so if you were going to have coaching calls with your team, we always know with coaching calls, when you give them some homework, pre-work, you know, it's just better for accountability. So you can see, you know, here is the November focus, what's their current title, what's their desired title, you know, things that they're working on. So intentions, you know, action steps. I just thought that this was brilliant. But then here we have, then she gives a calendar. And so on this calendar shows what the actual national holidays, or something fun like National Nachos Day, which is so relevant to us, and being able to put things out on, you know, on Facebook. National Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day, you know, so then for us, we could be talking about, you know, storage and, you know, the containers and things that we have. But I will share this with you, and, you know, you can see here she's also broken down day of rest, but here's what you need to be focusing on, you know, as a leader. So host coaching, you know, coaching new consultants, participating, prospecting leads, you know. So I thought that this was kind of a cool tool. And then here she had a daily, you know, where she actually broke down the whole calendar, so you could use this as your contact. And then here here's her hosts. So obviously we have this information, you know, in Pampered Chef, but, you know, here's just another way. And then this was what I thought was key, because this could be going, you could be using this ongoing. So we didn't have to put necessarily November, but sponsoring interviews. And then how many, the red dots mean how many times that you have reached out, and you need to reach out a minimum of 5. So wonderful tool for your upcoming leaders. And then, you know, your wrap up. So November reflections. And then here she had a celebration. Okay. And here was an expense tracker. So you have this for monthly. And then a lead list follow-up sheet. Okay. And then this was just a note sheet. Any questions on that? It's pretty self-explanatory.
I missed it. Maybe you shared how you're going to, are you going to share those with us?
I will put it on the future exec page. And if I come across anyone who has updated it, monthly moving forward, unfortunately, Becky is not. But I think that there's some things that are very basic that can be used. Like I said, what I will definitely do is to have my team using the recruiting interview, because what I see happening is that people are getting the interest, but when they say no the first time, they really do think it's no forever. So I do think it's key that we keep them, and when they share that with you, at least then you have something that you can say, okay, Sue, you said that Mary, was interested back in October, where is the process at this point? All right, questions? Yep, so I will put that on the future exec page, all right? Okay, so we have some green teams already. Congratulations to Kim Manning, Marsha Arwood, Katie Mass, Jamie Swanson, Amy Gibson, and Christina McIntosh. Anyone that I missed that I didn't see, maybe it updated a minute ago? Gail's like this close. So yes, so we're excited. Congratulations to all of you that are already there, and we still have plenty of time. So if your team is still, kind of at that wavering point, get some virtual parties going. I'm gonna tell you the main thing that we saw, the growth is from, again, it's still from the virtual parties. I'm sure Katie heard that message over and over again at the last retreat. But the teams that are, exploding are those that are recruiting virtually. And those virtual consultants are working. So,
Donna, can we, sorry to get you off the subject, just who's doing virtual parties and having good results? Because I'm not, and I was. So if anybody's got any tips to get around this latest Facebook change, I'd love to hear it.
Did you have we saw this, but we didn't hear anything.
I had 3 going on a couple of weeks ago, and one of them was a complete flop. One of them reached 400 in sales, and the other one, I don't even know where she is.
Well, yeah, there's definite, the changes are crazy. Because yeah. I'm even saying this is like last year, my page blew up with my birthday. This year, and I barely pay attention to that stuff, but I was like, wow, this is key. That, what? People just are not getting any notifications anymore.
Well, that's true. And I mean, and there's some people that, the one host of mine that was just a complete flop. I mean, I went through the whole week, even though there was nothing going on in the party. I did it just because I felt like I needed to. And I kept trying to coach her, and she just didn't do anything that I asked her to do. Ergo, nobody in the party did anything. So, I mean, it was just a complete, disaster on that party. But the other party was good. I mean, the girl, she finally got $400 in sales, and she's so excited because she can get the quick cooker for $96, and that was her goal. But I mean, it would have been nice if she'd gotten other people. She had quite a bit of interaction, but she just didn't have very many sales. So,
I'm sure Marsha, the person probably to ask that, it has to be, Kim Manning. She always, because she would say she's 80%, and I think she even gave a statistic yesterday. I can't remember what it was, of how, I think she's like at least 80% virtually. But, I may put it out there. Katie?
I haven't done Facebook parties in a long time because I just frankly got burned out. But I started, this month I think I had 6, which I was shocked. Again, I'm just using Facebook posting. I'm not paying for anything. And I'm only doing them for 3 days, but I have noticed if my hosts are not interactive, so I do a ton of host coaching, which I know that we all do, but I have my one party, I could tell she was not getting into it. And then I posted something, and right away one of her friends commented. And so then I had the host comment with products that she liked. And instantly she had like 5 people. And I messaged the host back and said, do you see what just happened? I said, you had so many people comment on your post, and I barely had anyone on my post. And she goes, yeah. She said, I saw that. And I said, that's why it's so important for you to do everything I share, because that's going to be your success. And her party ended up being over $1,000.
Wow, that's
And
good.
I had another girl that I just did her party last week, and her sales are at 500. I got one starting today, and I just did my host coaching with her this morning. And she goes, is there any way that I can see the comments and posts? She goes, I'm not seeing anything. And I said, see, I said, right there, she's not even seeing anything. And I said, I'm sorry you're not seeing anything, but this is why it's so important for you to host, for you to comment and share anything, because if you're not seeing it, your guests aren't seeing it either. And I've had, this is my, like I said, I have 6 parties. I got another one next week. I got 2 this week. So far, all of them have qualified. Like I said, shared, some of them have, been $1,000, which I was quite surprised.
Mm-hmm. Sherry, you do a lot of virtual. What's your results been in the last few weeks? Have you seen any changes?
Yeah, they're either good or bad. It's all if the host is involved.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key thing.
Okay. And Marsha, are you still using ScentShare or Postman Party?
I kind of got away from ScentShare because nobody was seeing anything anyway, and I was just doing a 1-hour live. And I actually, since I've been doing that, they all qualify. They're just not all, big. So, but every party that I've done that way, they've all qualified at least. But that's a lot of work to get a $200, $250 party. So I would just like to see some better results. And I'm burnt out. I'm like Katie. I'm kind of burnt out on them too. So it's hard to stay into it when it's so much work for so little return.
I don't do tickets. That was
No, I've got to find out. I've got to do something besides tickets. I hate tickets. But I need some virtual because I've got kind of a big hole. We had fall break, and I had a couple of cancellations. So I've got a hole in my October that was not at a good time. So I need to, to plump up my sales a little bit. So.
Well, one of the changes Janine did with the tickets, because the same thing, the tickets. So she does 1 post a day for tickets. That's it. It's on this post. This is the only way you can get tickets besides ordering or booking or joining. And then the other is, here's your place to gain tickets. I'll ask her for some of her posts on that. And I got to be honest, I didn't look at the October new consultant one, but I don't think she made that change until after she updated the October. So I'll ask her to share some of those posts for the tickets. But she said it's one day and it's made like a world of difference.
That would help a lot, definitely.
Let me make a note.
Katie, what do you mean people aren't seeing the comments?
People just, the whole Facebook thing has changed, and people just are not getting notifications. Number one, they're not even getting notified that they're invited to a party. So I make sure that every single host personal messages guests that they're inviting. Otherwise, people don't see the post. And in my message that I sent her, I have the party URL link in there. I have the order URL link, and I have the catalog URL link. That way, if they don't even hop on the party, they got it all right there in their messenger. And if I post something, if they're not even interacting in the party, they're never even going to see any posts that I post.
Katie, would you share your message?
Sure.
On the Facebook group, so then everyone can see, your wording that you're using for that. That'd be great. Linda, any other question on that?
No.
Okay. All right, well, Marcia,
No, I'm good. I'm gonna keep trying.
and maybe, maybe think about maybe is an hour too long? I mean, maybe do 2 half-hour segments. I mean, it's kind of hard to say. Maybe the hour, when you're putting it at I mean, I know it's there for them to go back and look at, but I mean, look at the engagement you get over your personal, your cooking posts.
Yeah, I do get a lot, and I get a lot of people out and about. Like nearly every time I go anywhere, somebody says something about my videos now.
Wow.
So that is getting a lot more attention than I thought. And people that I wouldn't have even thought for a second they'd pay attention have said, I had a friend Friday night at the football game said, I saw you make those Rice Krispie treats, and I had to go make some. She said, but my pan's stuck. I said, well, you need a new pan. I can help you with that.
Yeah, I can take your order right now.
One thing that I have done is I do live every party every day. Even though I post like 4 posts in the morning and 4 posts in the evening, I will have, and I'll ask the host, when do you think most of your guests will be able to watch live? And then I go according to that. Some say, a lot of them would be able to do it at 2 o'clock. A lot of them, can't do it till after dinner. So I do it at 7 o'clock in the evening. But I do like a 5 to 10 minute live demo. If it's just demoing 4 or 5 products, or if it's actually cooking something. But I make it that anyone, and this is where I don't do tickets, but they have a chance to earn a prize, is if they actually join me live and comment live, then their name goes in a drawing for a free gift. That way I get as many people live as possible.
That's a great idea. Okay, good. All right. Well, we'll just have at it. Got to keep going, trying to see. It's going to keep changing up. And I think using Facebook, posting is the way to go. I mean, that's what Facebook wants us to do. So that's, you gotta go with that. So, all right. So November 5th, it's Katie, excuse me, Katie and Gail for our Monday night Zoom. So you guys, I'm sure, are coordinating that. Gail's laughing. Okay, so we have that on this week's to-do list. So I will create the invite this week for that, so you can start promoting that with your teams. So November 5th, Katie and Gail. And the last thing I have on my calendar, my list for today, is October 29th, next Monday, is our check-in call. I will be on the big waters. I have a friend who just bought a boat, and Kevin and I are going, so this could be goodbye. We're going out for 4 days, leaving out of Hilton Head and going to Florida on a boat for a 3-hour tour, which it will. So I will not be on the check-in call is the bottom line for all of you. So it's kind of up to you guys if you want to do, hop on and check in with each other. If you feel like talking, I'll put it out there, and you can just have an open discussion. And I will be there with you in spirit. So that is on the 29th. Lorraine?
I also will not be available for the call next Monday. I'm going to be out of the country.
Oh, where are you going?
Greg and I are doing our anniversary trip to Costa Rica.
Oh, fun. That'll be great. Okay.
I'll be thinking of you, maybe.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll post it, and you guys can, make a decision whether, if you have time, I would go ahead and jump in on it. We did.
This sounds like a Gilligan trip, though, a 3-hour trip.
Yeah. I have no idea what we're in for. And so it's a 2-bedroom. I mean, I don't know what you call it. It's not a sailboat. It's a boat. But, yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a yacht, but it's large. It's ocean bearing. There you go. So, All right, so that's what that is. I did have on our calendar that we were going to talk about the director monthly planning. Where's everyone at with that training?
I'll start. I started it and I got somewhat through it.
Okay, good. Did anyone
I printed it out, but that's about as far as I've gotten with it.
Okay. Did you guys get the opportunity? I suggested to start with that Stacy Itzel little condensed version that I put on the Future Exec. Did you guys see that?
Condensed version?
There was a video.
Well, there's lots of videos throughout the whole thing.
It's on the Future Exec page. I posted a video from Stacy Itzel, and it was her condensed version of the big version.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
So I thought maybe that would be helpful as a starting point.
Yeah. I did the I started the training as well. I watched it, but like I don't have a very good memory, so I have to go back and rewatch some of the things again. But yeah.
Okay. Right. So we're all really quiet. So we obviously that is still on the to-do list.
It's a struggle. Like Katie, I have trouble remembering some of these things, and I'm finding it very overwhelming. I was chatting with Gail last night and shared that I can't get my team just to make a commitment to or set a goal to what they want for their personal sales, much less anything beyond that for a team goal. And my fear is I'll go through this exercise of, and I want to adopt a streamlined organizational system for planning things, but it's going to end up being for naught because of their lack of engagement at this point now.
Okay. All right, so let me ask a question. How many of you, and this goes back to what we talked about at the earlier part of the call, how many of you share your monthly team goal with the team, with your team? Okay, and you post that? Is it posted on your personal page and you keep it updated?
Okay, so I have a personal team page and nobody looks at it. So, I can post it all day long, but nobody's looking at it. I have one person on my team who participates on a fairly regular basis.
Okay.
I just don't have the numbers on my team. So the recruiting efforts need to be more of my focus, honestly, than this right now. I can talk till I'm blue in the face, but nobody's responding to me on my particular team right now. So that's kind of, where I am.
Okay, so I agree with you 100%, Gail. You may want to look at it on the flip side.
Right.
I'm posting the number not only for the team,
right,
but for myself.
Yeah.
You're also, by doing that holds you accountable, because if it's not coming from your team, it has to come from us.
Right.
So I would suggest to keep moving forward, everyone moving forward, is so if we're not seeing the engagement from our team, just look at it, hey, you know what? I'm doing this as an accountability to myself.
Yeah.
And making the change will happen with repetition. So just keep doing it. So my suggestion is, yes, it would be really nice for us to focus on this monthly planning, but what I think the best use of our time is focusing on, let's keep our goals out there. The first thing is our November 1st. Let's come to our call, which our next call, all of us together with me included, will be on Monday the 5th. So I would like everyone to come to that call with, here's my November goal, and here's how I'm going to communicate that goal to my team or to myself, okay? So instead of worrying about that, what's our November goal recruiting, our November goal team sales, and our November goal personal sales? And if you create a great Canva, or you're going to do, hey, and you're all very creative in your own way, so just share how are you going to communicate that with your teams. And I know lots of you think, I want to keep improving on my Canva. Well, hey, that's a great way to do it. Practice, because every month you're going to be changing that. All right. So I will mark that as our November. And Gail and Katie, however I can help you, the Zoom, I'm there, and I'm the one that, you can move the slides forward yourself, or I can move the slides forward for you. So we can talk about that offline once you two decide. And remember, you don't have to create a PowerPoint for that. It can be just you two getting on their training. So I want you to use your resources of what you feel, how you communicate best, rather than spending time creating a PowerPoint that may not be necessary. So, so you two decide how you want to best get that training going. All right.
So this is a training for.
You guys are on the Zoom, our monthly Zoom call.
Okay, so I thought we had to have PowerPoints, but okay.
You do not have to. No, that is totally up to you how you want to do that. Just remember, typically when we want to share a video, if it's on the Pampered Chefs Facebook page, Zoom somehow it runs so slow when you do when you go to Consultant Connection and try to share, a video. So if it's a video, we may need to talk about that and what's the best way to do it.
And is there any recognition that we have to do?
No,
we don't have those anymore.
No recognition.
No, we're no longer doing recognition because we'll spend, 20 minutes on recognition. Your recognition should be through your personal page.
Okay, perfect.
So I have a quick question. Would it be possible for us, if you have time, Donna, this morning, to spend another 5 minutes after everybody hangs up so we could just kind of go over a few details?
I'm fine with that. Katie's good.
Okay. Katie, if that's okay.
All right, ladies, anything else? All right, watch for the retreat information this week. And I will not be with you next Monday, but the call is opportunity to start the call without me. Obviously, I'll be thinking of you guys. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Again, thank you for all my birthday wishes. I so appreciate all of you.
Thank you, Donna.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Donna.
Let me stop our recording and then